Right-wing populism is alive and well in Europe. The populist insurgency has also placed their anti-EU, anti-immigration voices at the forefront of European politics.
Matteo Salvini. He cultivates the image of a family man with his young daughter on stage, but has spoken in this campaign of cleaning Italian streets and towns, and he doesn't mean the litter. Italians first, it says, on the podium of a man leading the polls in much of northern Italy. In just a few years, this has gone from being a small group in the north of Italy to a genuinely national party that could soon be part of the most right-wing government since the war. That's how much has changed here. And he sees no danger from the far right. It was a man who once stood as a candidate for his party, who 3 weeks ago shot 6 immigrants in the town of Macerata. The police finding Hitler's writings in his apartment.
Matteo Salvini, Italy's most openly racist politician and leader of the far-right Northern League Party, loves Donald Trump, and it appears that Trump loves him back. Salvini, who has called German Chancellor Angela Merkel's policy to accept Syrian refugees a disaster, and who has been pictured with a bulldozer on the edge of Roma camps, tweeted a series of pictures of himself at a Trump rally in Philadelphia this week. Salvini, who is in the United States to promote Italian culture, then met with Trump for about 20 minutes after the rally. Trump reportedly said, "Matteo, I hope you will soon become the Prime Minister of Italy."
Matteo Salvini are going completely wild over there in Italy. Of course, Matteo Salvini, the madman himself, they have bulldozed a migrant village and cleared 1,500 migrants out, saying it's time for you to go home. And then they videotaped it, which is pretty based. It says approximately 1,592 migrants have been removed from a shantytown migrant camp in southern Italy as a part of the populist government's policy to dismantle squatter camps across the country.
So you have 500,000 migrants coming in 3 years, only 387,000 actual Italians born. That's a real problem, folks. That's a real problem, and you're not going to hear about that on television. You will not hear about that on television. You won't hear that on Fox News even. You won't hear that anywhere. No one will talk about that. You have to search that out.
Research Institute, Salvini and Lega will easily dominate the European elections in Italy, as no other parties running are even close to them in recent polling data, he said when speaking to Swedish newspaper Istad's Alamanda. And it is no surprise that Salvini's coalition is going to be the single largest party in the European Parliament, as we look at statistics from Pew Research, which I've quoted in the past, that show that 71% of Italians want fewer or no more migration in their country. So regardless of the fact that a lot of left-wing newspapers or left-wing rags are calling Matteo Salvini and Viktor Orban and others like them anti-immigrant, far-right, neo-Nazis, whatever label that they want to put on them, regardless of their headlines that they write about Bolsonaro, Salvini, and all the rest, the people of these countries agree with the leader. So if you support democracy, right, we always hear the left talking about our democracy, even though we live in a constitutional republic. If you support democracy, then you should support the majority of the population of Italy and Hungary and Greece and some other countries, according to Pew Research, that actually want to start sending people home instead of accepting more people into their countries. They do not want to lose their culture.
En regering med en klar nationalistisk kurs. Ført an af den magtfulde indenrigsminister Matteo Salvini under sloganet Italienerne først. Matteo Salvini er blevet landets mest populære politiker for sin modstand mod EU og afrikanske migranter.
C'è bisogno di una pulizia di massa anche in Italia, via per via, quartiere per quartiere, piazza per piazza, con le maniere forti se serve.
Salvini elsker politiske provokationer og ved, at der er stemmer i at appellere til det yderste højre.
Det nationale Italien ser i Mussolini den mand, der repræsenterer det sande Italien.
Han har flere gange citeret Mussolini, Italiens fascistiske diktator, som her et tweet på diktatorens fødselsdag, der siger, mange fjender, megen ære.
Italy is in turmoil and is dabbling with fascism. The last time they did that, they wound up with Mussolini, the turner to Hitler's hooch.
Right-wing populism is surging in Europe. Voters in Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic and Italy have installed nationalist anti-immigrant leaders in high office.
Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini, who shot to prominence campaigning against immigration, has proposed a new law that would require a crucifix to be displayed in all public buildings. Salvini supporters love the idea.
You're a Catholic?
Yes.
The far right has been gaining ground in Europe, and Italy is no exception. 7 decades after the death of Mussolini, the founder of fascism, there are still people in Italy who worship him. Far-right supporters having recently made the headlines for littering a stadium with images of Anne Frank. Natalie Mendoza sent us this report.
This is the image that shocked Italy. It's of Anne Frank, the young Jewish deportee who died in 1945. Wearing an AS Roma football shirt.
Prima di parlare tutti dovrebbero andare a parlare con gli operatori, a parlare con queste persone, a vedere cosa mangiano, a vedere dove dormono, a vedere come pisciano e a vedere il casino che lasciano, perché poi il problema è che io vado via, ma i cittadini che abitano lì hanno paura a parlare, perché poi loro ci convivono 365 giorni all'anno e a Conetta i profughi veri sono, se va bene, 10 su 100, perché fra gli ivoriani ci sono degli ex guerriglieri che hanno combattuto la guerra a casa loro e poi qualcuno vorrebbe che venissero a combattere la guerra anche a casa nostra. Prima li rimandiamo a casa, meglio è per tutti.
Because Italy was fascist under Mussolini, but Italy has a healthy rebellion right now. You have Matteo Salvini, trying to deport people and stop invaders from coming.
The situation is, it's just a bit better, actually, because if I have to be honest with you, there are a lot of cities in Italy, in particular in the northern part of Italy, which is richer, where immigrants are right now like the 20-30% of the population. In cities like Milano, which is a very important big city, Lombardia, or in other cities like Bologna, Torino, Brescia, and the crimes there, the situation there is very, very bad. And that's why people saw in the political views of Salvini some kind of liberation, some kind of freedom from this propaganda, from this oppression. Because I have to be honest, Salvini, it's not even an extremist. Because basically he is some kind of civic nationalist. But to think that a civic nationalist created this kind of chaos in Europe makes you understand how oppressed we are right now by propaganda. Because if just by saying that we should just stop the mass immigration waves in our country, also because we are poor, we don't have the economic situation to help them, because Italy cannot face them, really, makes you think that we have been completely manipulated by propaganda and by European politicians.
Oh, 100%. Now, you said Matteo Salvini is more of a civic nationalist, so he doesn't say things like Italy for Italians?
No, he says Italy for Italians. He says that, but he also says that if immigrants come in our country and they respect the laws and they don't commit crimes and they integrate, they are not going to be, refused. They can be. They can stay.
They'll never be real Italians. They'll never be ethnic Italians. It just doesn't work that way,
I know. But this is like the best that we could have.
Yeah.
Right now, because we had another movement in Italy which is truly nationalist, which is Casa Pound. Probably you already heard of that.
Yes.
They are completely against NATO bases. They are against mass immigration. They are against. They want to nationalize the banks. They want to nationalize the currency, and they want to go out of European Union. So they are really a change for Italy, but they are too extremist right now for the times that we are living in. So Matteo Salvini was the second best choice for Italians to try to stop at least these waves of immigrants.